I have a legitimate issue with my Fujifilm cameras, lenses, just Fujifilm in general. And no, this is not a video stating that I'm moving from Fujifilm full-time to Leica, Nikon, Canon, Sony, Panasonic, anything. It doesn't have anything to do with the sensor size. I'm a person that truly believes that if you're a professional and you're skilled enough, you can make anything work with anything. Sensor size doesn't matter. Lenses don't matter to a certain extent. As long as you know what you're doing, at some point it just becomes personal preference, not one thing being better than the other. And I'm not upset about anything like performance. If anything, my career has grown since I switched to Fujifilm cameras primarily about 3 to 4 years ago. The colors, the image quality, all that has helped me stand out from every other photographer that just uses a teal and orange or a burnt rust autumn preset on all their videos with their LUTs or on all their photos. Then what is my issue with Fujifilm? If everything's going good for me professionally and I don't mind it being APS-C, why do I feel like Fujifilm has lost its touch? That it's lost who it is, and if anything, it's kind of lost the soul of what it's supposed to be, because it has. See, Fujifilm used to be a brand that believed in a few things. Number one, making small, compact, and affordable gear that not only got the job done, but also had amazing and excellent image quality that rivaled their full-frame counterparts. Fujifilm wasn't afraid of losing the market just because they're APS-C. They leaned fully into the APS-C sensor, making huge achievements, making huge jumps in sensor technology in order to create a camera system that could be smaller and could achieve all the things that I mentioned before. The idea of having a camera system that was small enough to take with you everywhere and not have lenses that sacrifice image quality just because they're smaller was something that it did well, and is a reason for a lot of people switching to Fujifilm in general. This idea of Kaizen that Fujifilm had, this belief, just to make it simple for you, if I have an old camera, I shouldn't be punished for it. Fujifilm used to update older cameras regularly with the new film simulations, no matter what. Updates to autofocus, update to features that would be featured in new menus on new cameras would then be ported to older cameras so you could have a similar experience, even though the processor, of course, has certain limitations. Fujifilm used to believe this, but now, like every other camera manufacturer, a new feature in software, or even worse, a new film simulation, that is highlighted as a reason to trade in your old body, sell your old body, and buy the new one. It's not fair, and it's not who they are. There's a lot of people in the Fujifilm system that purchase their cameras and keep them for a long time. Why? Because they used to believe that Fujifilm would have their back and be able to update, to be able to give them the new features, to be able to give them the new film simulations, and be able to breathe life into old cameras for as long as they had them. And Fujifilm stepped away. And it's not because they decided to prioritize their medical division or prioritize these divisions that make more money. It's simply because Fujifilm doesn't care to listen to the photographers that are actually using their gear. And this is an issue that I have with a lot of camera manufacturers, but I have an even bigger issue with Fujifilm because they used to be so about making sure that they heard the community. Now, with their roadmaps and things like this, we're getting lenses, we're getting bodies, we're getting things that is making the community scratch their head. I mean, sincerely scratch their head. You can ask anyone in the Fujifilm community. We're still trying to find out who the vast minority is that wanted that 8mm lens they're going to announce at Fujikina. And at the time of this video releasing, they probably did announce that lens. Who asked for that? And even though at the time of this video's release, it may be outdated. And at the time you're watching this, Fujifilm may have released a brand new roadmap that gave us all the things that we've been longing for. It doesn't mean that it's not true that they abandoned and stopped listening to the consumer, to the actual professional using their gear, and who through word of mouth, through YouTube, and of course through our artwork have been the main source of marketing for Fujifilm, period. But my issue is for all these things that they're asking of us and all the benefits they get from the people that are working, the wedding photographers who are making images that are going to last a lifetime, beautiful images with beautiful tones, beautiful colors, and beautiful image quality and rendition. They're the ones who aren't being heard. The street photographers who have made the XE4, the X Pro line, the X100 line completely blow up as a take anywhere, take all photo camera, so much so that on the gray market, it is vastly overpriced for every Fujifilm body. Those people aren't being listened to whenever they're telling you, we want pancake lenses, we want more weather-sealed lenses, we want update to the f2 lenses, and even more than that, we want lenses that aren't focused on being the biggest and baddest thing out that looks super cool. Hey there, before we go any further, I want to talk to you about today's channel partner, Exter, and how they're partnering with me to give you up to 35% off the best Father's Day gifts, including their amazing, slim, sustainable, and RFID blocking wallets. Perfect gift for Father's Day, and just in time if you ask me. Extra's wallets go above and beyond what you would expect from an average wallet, all while being half the size with the same capacity. So if you're interested in giving the best Father's Day gift you can give, make sure to check out the link in the description or use promo code DROSA at checkout to get your discount today. See, not only are you and me the Fujifilm community, we are Fujifilm's marketing division. The Roman Foxes, the Faisal Westcotts, the me, the Dorian Colemans, and you, the people at home that are taking photos, sharing them online, and somehow convincing these people to switch from full frame cameras, all because they want something that gives them more life, that makes them want to take more photos, and gives them a different perspective and a different aesthetic. That's a huge deal. But the issue is, why aren't we being heard? And you can tell me, well, Fujifilm's roadmap, or, well, not everyone wants this, that, and the other. And the point is not everyone is going to agree on what we want. I know that. But when there's a vast majority of people that are asking for the same things, more pancake lenses, an X Pro 4 with certain features like IBIS, or certain features like an actual rangefinder digital patch, when you have people that have been asking for longer lenses, this is something I've heard for years, longer lenses from Fujifilm, when you have people that are asking, why are we duplicating a lot of our lenses? Why do we have so many focal lengths that are so close in size, number one, and also asking, who is asking for this 8mm? It gets kind of gray, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And don't even get me started on the Fujifilm app. For 5 years, we've been asking for something new. And for 5 years, the app's been unusable. Get no points for showing up 5 years late to the dance, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like Fujifilm lost its touch because it doesn't care as much about the art and the art that these artists are making that use their cameras to the same level that it used to. I'm about to play a clip featuring Jason Roman, aka Stock Easy, on the Mamiyamigos podcast that really made me think this week about these camera manufacturers and what they're doing and what they're leaning to. And this one thing that now, as Leica is the only one that stands alone, really makes them stand out and really makes it seem like they care more about the art.
It would just never happen that Sony or Fujifilm or anybody's gonna put you in the room with photographers like that. Like, and again, it's not to shit on YouTube at all, but like, they don't even mix the space anymore. It's like we have a thing, an event going on, and it's like they only invite YouTubers. They won't invite people from this other world because it's like, well, we're not really making cameras for them. We're making cameras that people can like still film themselves on. So so
Sony's.
There is sort of an artistry to Leica, and I just hearing all this behind the scenes stuff is like it makes you have a lot more respect for them as a company, and just working with like people who are so creative like you, and just you know, everyone else on their lineup is like, you know, it's so easy to become detached from a brand, but like when you hear about that kind of stuff, it's like
they're there.
That's pretty dope.
The brand exists.
Right
it's
there,
real. There's actual people that you can email. You know what I mean? Like there's real stores that you can walk into. But also not only that, it's the only camera company that has galleries. Like they have galleries in their store. It's like a testament to how much they actually care about photography. They don't mess around with this stuff.
Dude, well,
man.
I mean, looking at the space, looking at the history, looking at all the stuff in there, that would be just like,
I just love it. I geek
beautiful.
out. You know what I mean? I really nerd out.
Yeah, I mean, sure, they're cameras and they're tools, but they're also like art pieces a little bit. Like they
Absolutely,
just because of the history and what they mean, and you know,
like which one is sitting on your shelf where you're like, fuck, I'm gonna go shoot more because this thing makes me want to shoot. You know what I mean? And like that's priceless to me. That's what my X Pro 2 did to me. My X Pro 2 turned me into the photographer that I am because my Canon, I hated it. I never wanted to shoot that thing. I always wanted my Fuji in my hand. And then I got this and I'm like, oh my God, like this is the next step for me.
For sure.
And I shoot way more.
You can go look up Stock Easy on YouTube or look up Stock Easy on Instagram. His name's Jason Roman. This guy, along with Gajin Balan, are actually the two reasons why I switched to Fujifilm, and the two biggest people that I credit with my photography journey right now as it is to this day. Without them, without their insight, without their promoting of Fujifilm cameras, I don't believe that I'd be where I am today. I believe I'd still be lost in a corporate setting and probably given up photography altogether if I didn't find the love of street photography, creating things that I wanted to create, and of course, this X system. So no, this isn't the swan song for my use of Fujifilm cameras. Absolutely not. I still love using it. And whenever it comes to videography, they've taken such a huge step up in autofocus and the ability to export RAW. And of course, again, the colors that come out of this camera, I can't see myself using anything else. And if the Sony FX30 gets to call itself a Super 35 sensor, then Fujifilm is the best Super 35 sensor on the prosumer market. But it still doesn't shake the fact that for the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, everyone has been asking for the same things, and Fujifilm's ignored them. We've gotten lenses that no one asked for to be updated. We've gotten bodies with specs and features that no one ever asked for, and we've been ignored on certain things like what about the Kaizen promise, and what happened to the small, affordable, and well-equipped lenses that made the system such a joy to carry around. At the end of the day, you should shoot what you love. And with me, I'm in a love-hate relationship with Fujifilm. Even though I still love it and I'm still going to use it, it is kind of underwhelming with the direction they've been going. Maybe I'll be proved wrong in the days to come. Maybe by the time you're watching this, they'll release a roadmap that answers everything we want and I'll be hushed. But as of right now, I can't say that I've been super excited with the way they've gone. I'm hoping they get back to the roots. I'm hoping that Kaizen takes over. And even more, I hope they're listening to not only you, but to me. So with that being said, take it light, but take it. Fujifilm Mafia, don't tell me to unalive myself again. Have a good one.